Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News on this Friday, October 28th. I'm Han-dan in Seoul. We begin with the expanding probe into the power abuse scandal revolving around President Park Geun-hye's confidant, Choi Soon-sil. Prosecutors are now questioning two key figures involved, one of whom has been close to Choi for over 10 years. Our Hwang Ho-jun has more.
Prosecutors summoned Lee Seung-chul on Friday morning as a witness in the growing scandal centering around President Park Geun-hye's longtime confidant, Choi Soon-sil. Lee, the current vice president of the Federation of Korean Industries, helped establish two foundations linked to Choi and participated in fundraising for the organizations. Choi is suspected of having used her connections to President Park to solicit a massive amount of corporate donations for the foundations in a short period of time and is also accused of having embezzled some of the funds. Prosecutors are also questioning Ko Young-tae, a man known to have close ties to Choi. During an interview last week with local broadcaster JTBC, Ko indicated that Choi had access to the president's speeches, raising questions about whether she also had access to sensitive state documents. In the interview, Ko was quoted as saying that what Choi loves most is editing the president's speeches. Ko was immediately taken for questioning upon his arrival in Seoul late Thursday after flying in from Bangkok. The prosecution says Ko flew back of his own free will and is being quizzed as a witness, not a suspect, based on his request. Ko is a former top-class fencer and the CEO of a handbag company. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Justice is seeking a way to bring Choi back to Korea from Germany. A ministry official said Friday that it is doing all it can, including exploring the option of suspending her passport. However, that's easier said than done. In order for an extradition request to be granted, a trial must be held on the allegations against the subject. Moreover, Choi's exact whereabouts in Germany are still unclear. Hwang Ho-jun, ARIRANG News.
President Park Geun-hye is deliberating on her next steps following her public apology this week for giving her confidant access to her speeches. A presidential office official told reporters that the president's key priority at the moment is easing the public anxiety stemming from the scandal and administering state affairs with a steady hand. Amid a large-scale reshuffle of her cabinet and/or her senior secretaries, as demanded by the National Assembly, is widely expected in the coming days. Meanwhile, the president's approval rating has hit a record low of 17%, according to a poll released Friday by Gallup Korea. That's the lowest figure since President Park took office in 2013, and even lower than 3 days ago, when a Realmeter poll taken right after her public apology showed a rating of 17.5%. South Korea's defense chief is urging the nation's military commanders to stay alert for North Korean provocations and ordered readiness around the country. Meeting with senior military officials on Friday, Han Min-gu said there's an elevated chance North Korea could carry out a strategic or tactical provocation to deflect from its domestic problems. North Korea is still cleaning up after massive flooding, as well as dealing with an ongoing economic crisis and more defections. The minister said every South Korean soldier should have a clear idea of their duties and of their value to the nation. The White House has reaffirmed that the United States is firmly committed to its denuclearization policy on North Korea. The clarification came after Washington's top intelligence official suggested there were differences of opinion on the matter. Kwon So-ah reports.
The U.S. government has reiterated that the denuclearization of North Korea remains its key policy goal in dealing with the country. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest was responding to remarks made this week by James Clapper, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, who said Washington should put a cap on the regime's nuclear capabilities and not try to denuclearize it. Earnest said Clapper seemed to be saying the current strategy would not likely prompt Pyongyang to give up its nuclear program before President Obama leaves office. He reaffirmed that in the long term, the U.S. will continue to work with the world to get North Korea to comply with its international obligations by adding pressure on the regime, including UN Security Council resolutions. This is seen as supporting an earlier State Department claim that denuclearization remains the U.S. goal with North Korea. A high-ranking South Korean official who spoke on condition of anonymity with South Korean correspondents in Washington Thursday gave his opinion, saying Clapper's remarks are quite different from the Obama administration stance. On the recent informal talks between a North Korean delegation and former U.S. government officials in Malaysia, the official said the meeting suggests North Korea is not ready for sincere dialogue and sanctions are what's needed to put effective pressure on Pyongyang. This, he said, as North Korea has only proven its stubborn claim that its nuclear program is needed for deterrence. 권소아, 아리랑 뉴스.
And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Business Daily is next.